Hello everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe to this channel. On August 15, 1947, India accomplished autonomy from English provincial rule, denoting the finish of almost 2 centuries of English territory. This memorable second was the consequence of a long and difficult battle for opportunity, portrayed by a persistent mission of common rebellion and peaceful opposition. The narrative of India's freedom is rich with compelling figures, extraordinary developments, and a complicated heritage that keeps on molding the country today. This article investigates the set of experiences and account of India's way to autonomy, its key chiefs, and the difficulties and accomplishments beginning around 1947. English frontier rule. English presence in India started in the mid-1700 years with the foundation of the East India Organization, which bit by bit expanded its command over huge pieces of the Indian subcontinent. Following the Indian disobedience of 1857, the English crown took command, introducing the period of the English Raj. Under English rule, India experienced huge financial and social changes. The pioneer organization carried out approaches that inclined toward English financial interests, prompting the double dealing of India's assets and broad neediness. The effect of English rule on Indian culture was significant, influencing different parts of life, including society, training, and administration. Ascent of Indian patriotism. The late 19th century saw the rise of Indian patriotism, driven by developing disappointment with English rule and the craving for self-administration. The Indian Public Congress, INC, was established in 1885 to address Indian interests and promoter for political changes. At first made out of moderate pioneers who looked for gradual changes through exchange with the English, the INC later developed into a mass development requesting total freedom. The mid-20th century saw the ascent of additional extreme patriot pioneers who looked for prompt and complete autonomy from English rule. This period was set apart by the development of compelling figures who might assume significant parts in the battle for opportunity. Key figures in India's freedom development. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, known as Mahatma Gandhi, arose as the most conspicuous head of India's autonomy development. Getting back to India from South Africa in 1915, Gandhi presented a way of thinking of peaceful opposition, or satyagraha, of testing English power. His authority and vision roused millions to join the battle for autonomy. Gandhi drove a few critical missions, including the Non-Collaboration Development, 1920 to 1922, the Salt Walk, 1930, and the Quit India Development, 1942. Through these endeavors, he activated individuals across India to oppose English rule calmly, showing the force of aggregate activity and peacefulness. Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru, a nearby partner of Gandhi, assumed a vital part in the freedom development and later became Free India's most memorable state head. A charming pioneer and smooth speaker, Nehru was instrumental in molding the INC's vision for a cutting-edge, mainstream, and vote-based India. Nehru's authority stretched out past the battle for autonomy. He laid the foundation for India's political and monetary approaches post-freedom. His obligation to building a bound-together and moderate country left an enduring effect on India's turn of events. Subhas Chandra Bose was a conspicuous patriot pioneer known for his extreme way to deal with accomplishing freedom. Disappointed with the INC's techniques, Bose looked for outside help for India's freedom and shaped the Indian Public Armed Force, INA, to battle against English powers. Bose's endeavors to get freedom through outfitted battle and his initiative of the INA assumed a critical part in testing English power. In spite of the fact that his methodology contrasted from Gandhi's, Bose's commitments to the freedom development were huge, and he stays a respected figure in Indian history. The battle for autonomy, the Indian freedom development, was portrayed by a progression of mass fights, strikes, and missions of common insubordination. Gandhi's methodology of peacefulness and non-collaboration enlivened broad support, rising above provincial, etymological, and strict contrasts. The Salt Walk of 1930 was a defining moment in the freedom development. Gandhi's walk to the Middle Eastern Ocean to fight the English imposing business model on salt prepared a large number of Indians, causing global to notice India's battle for opportunity. This demonstration of disobedience represented the more extensive battle against pilgrim mistreatment. Exchanges and the way to freedom. The Second Great War fundamentally affected India's autonomy development. The English government, debilitated by the conflict, confronted expanding strain to decolonize. The Quit India development, sent off in 1942, required a finish to English rule and requested quick freedom. The development confronted extreme restraint, with pioneers detained and dissents brutally stifled. As the conflict finished, the English government perceived the certainty of Indian freedom. The work government in England, thoughtful to Indian goals, started exchanges with Indian pioneers. These conversations finished in the Indian Freedom Demonstration of 1947, which conceded autonomy to India and brought about the parcel of the subcontinent into two separate countries, India and Pakistan. The segment of India. The choice to segment India along strict lines was a disagreeable and unfortunate result of the freedom cycle. The segment made two free states, Hindu larger part India and Muslim larger part Pakistan, containing East Pakistan, presently Bangladesh, and West Pakistan, present-day Pakistan. The parcel prompted perhaps of the biggest mass movement ever, with a great many Hindus and Sikhs moving to India and Muslims to Pakistan. The cycle was damaged by far-reaching savagery, mutual uproars, and the relocation of millions. An expected 1 to 2,000 individuals lost their lives and innumerable families were removed. Difficulties of country building. Free India confronted various difficulties as it set out on the excursion of country building. The nation needed to address the quick, helpful emergency coming about because of parcel, lay out a working government, and establish the groundworks for financial turn of events. The drafting of the Indian Constitution was a critical accomplishment, giving a system to administration and cherishing standards of a majority-rule government, secularism, and civil rights. The Constitution became effective on January 26, 1950, denoting the foundation of India as a sovereign popularity-based republic. Political and monetary turn of events. India's post-freedom period was set apart by endeavors to advance monetary turn of events and social advancement. Under Nehru's initiative, the nation sought after a strategy of arranged monetary turn of events, zeroing in on industrialization, framework, and rural change. India's majority rule foundations were reinforced through normal decisions, the foundation of a multi-party framework, and the security of crucial privileges. Notwithstanding confronting difficulties like neediness, lack of education, and territorial incongruities, India's popularity-based structure gave a stage to resolving these issues. Social and social coordination. India's variety, enveloping a huge number of dialects, religions, and societies, presented the two difficulties and opened doors for country building. The country's chiefs stressed solidarity in variety, advancing a mainstream and comprehensive character that regarded and commended its rich social legacy. Endeavors to advance civil rights, instruction, and medical services have been essential to India's improvement plan. Drives to engage minimized networks and further develop admittance to essential administrations have added to huge advancement in different social markers. India's job in the worldwide field. India's international strategy in the post-autonomy period was described by the standard of non-arrangement, supporting for lack of bias and freedom in foreign relations. India assumed a main part in the neutral development, looking to construct fortitude among recently free countries and advance harmony and collaboration. India's obligation to internationalism and worldwide collaboration has been reflected in its dynamic. Supporting global associations, peacekeeping missions, and endeavors to address worldwide difficulties, for example, environmental change and practical turn of events. India's excursion to freedom on August 15, 1947, was an earth-shattering occasion that reshaped the political and social scene of the subcontinent. The battle for opportunity was set apart by the boldness and assurance of innumerable people who imagined a free and majority-rule country. In the years since freedom, India has accomplished critical advancement in different circles, arising as an energetic vote-based system and a powerful economy. The tradition of its opportunity development keeps on motivating ages, helping the world to remember the force of peacefulness, solidarity, and versatility despite affliction. As India pushes ahead, it keeps on facing difficulties while embracing open doors for development and advancement. The soul of its freedom development stays a directing power, moving the country to take a stab at a future set apart by equity, correspondence, and success for every one of its residents. Thank you for watching.